I'm real tired anymore due to Parkinson's, and I moved into assisted living. Having said that, I'm going to try to reach Mr. Gabriel. Try to say something about um, what went on with Gabriel. In case that somebody who's interested can avoid the problems that developed in their quest for recognition or approval or appreciation. It's gotten so that I can't finish things I want to say because I've said them all before. Or talking to people, try to catch them up on what happened because they don't know anything about it. I end up saying three things at once. A couple of important things come to mind. I'm probably going to forget one or two of them almost immediately because of the competition for brainwave space in decaying European out here in Brother America. But somebody clued me in as to what sort of mischief was going on at Carnegie Mellon. I'll get to that. First, I want to say when Gabriel, when you authored the song, That Voice Again, I'm not disputing that you were on the money. Right? Somebody said I was social climbing. I was like, oh, is that what I was doing? Oof. Talk about a tall tale. It's not that what happened was something all that much different from what I expect to have happen. I didn't really expect Adrian Ballou to be unusual as a human being. He struck me as somebody who's going to be like the loudest creeps who's waved to me on steps when I was a child and offered me, when I was obviously a stray animal, to make me even worse off than I already was. But he was trusted by the rockers. I just wanted to get to know them. You know, when you like someone, you want to be recognized and favored by them. That's just natural. There's nothing, you know. All the standoffishness of this people becomes sort of a phobia for your fan base. You know, you don't want to make encroachments. I've never had a professor get up and walk away from me because I have to sit close, being deaf, before I visit claim on rubbish for it. But I'm not going to rub it in because a lot of other nice things happen there. I didn't know nothing about no Beatles, and I suppose I'd given enough clues that Yoko Ono was onto me, but it's not what I was trying to do, you know. So I didn't notice them. I wasn't canny, wary enough, as Tolkien would say. So like, what did happen was I had a nice opportunity to write a short little poem with Mr. Gabriel. I remember seeing Ivy Cat with some kind of Miss Macabre movie. Got a good brother and a bad brother. It didn't occur to me that I was part of the show already, that they had tapped into me with, like, that they knew what Gregory Carl was up to, for example. Pittsburgh, Svengali's at Pitt, picked the fight for the world war crowd with media as to what's considered moral in a human being. Won't let me go to school. They definitely, they stacked the deck and categorized me as a humanist. And it looked like Gabriel was just trying to set me off. That's possible that he was trying to clue me in. I mean, the same sort of stuff goes on with the way people say I was social climbing when I was just trying to get to know someone I liked. Of course, it was dumb. I mean, stay away from powerful people. You don't want to find yourself an object of dangerous ideas. I'm glad you look so healthy. Don't get the idea that I'm somehow disturbed person. I regret that I have been battered into such a condition that I'm unhealthy and can scarcely move around at age 65. But it doesn't make me wish that on anybody else. That's just not how I am. I'm glad you're doing okay. I was pleased to learn that your recent record was uh, well received. I don't see why you know who I was. You know who you caught it brilliantly on your song. You know what I don't take to is the stuff about the yammering Senegalese dude calling dibs on the um, fairy trophy of the weird macabre matchmaker crowd. I can do without that stuff, Mr. Peter Gabriel. As for me being in and out of various girls' bedrooms, I was discarded frequently. That's a problem you should take up with the fairer sex. You remember that Fripp told me he didn't want to be involved in a personal correspondence. So Amanda Harcourt has no business making it sound like I was insinuating towards her or had some opportunity towards her. There were things going on suddenly. I was in a medical library and AIDS was happening. And Reagan was making a weird scene about it. And I had to follow the pattern. And I was not wrong. Warpo World had generated text in the hand of Greg Carl that said the persona is subjected to successive degradations of the X motive. I'm sure you can find tons of crowd trusting old boys say, yes, that's the martial manhood measure. Thou shalt not do bigamy. You stick with one woman and you stand by her through thick and through thin. People like Scott Ritter don't like the queer ball. What does any of that have to do with me seeking to replace Hitler and their affections, which is evidently what the fuck is going on with them. I was deaf. What you act as though you're a moral conscientiousness when you take a deaf child and subject them to a Manson ordeal because they opposed the Vietnam War at the age of 9. As a statement for Soviet Jews in the backwaters of Pittsburgh. It's too weird for me. I mean, Amanda said she opened the package for me and with a good deal of trepidation, but was relieved to see that it was from me and not from one of those weirder than thou types. Well, if you can even conceptualize something as weirder than thou, doing that to a child, is that weirder than thou? You should man up. You should say, James, I was worried about you. I didn't want you to be used that way. I'm sorry that happened. But you never have done that. You know, if there's someone in the world that Peter Gabriel talks regular speech to, it's not me. But I enjoyed the cards and so on. Will Zell spoke as reported. If he's in your parochial establishment, then you got more to explain than I do.